Hey, I'm Suzanne Chadwick, founder of the Connection Exchange and SuzanneChadwick.net, helping you build a business and brand to love. And today I'm going to share all of my tips on how to advertise and promote your events, because I know that people struggle with this who are new to hosting and running events. So stick around and I'll share all my tips with you. Okay, so running events, it is not for the faint-hearted. It can be quite tricky, but it also can be a lot of fun. So you need to decide whether events are something that you're keen to do in your business. That's obviously can be a really great branding channel. From a revenue generation point of view, depending on the events that you run, it can be hard to make a lot of money from events unless you get some really great sponsorship as well. Otherwise, if you've got free venue, then that always helps too. But I have my little list here because there were so many tips that I had that I didn't want to miss any of them out. So I recently had a question in the Epic Women in Business Facebook group, which you can go over and join, where somebody was asking how they can promote and get more people to attend their event. So these were some of the tips that I had. So the first one is really obvious, Facebook. So make sure that you've created the event on Facebook so that people can reply to that. They can also obviously get the link to go and get tickets. They can see all of the information. But the other thing with creating an event that's attached to your business Facebook page is that every time somebody says they're interested or they're going, then everybody that they know also sees that event. So that's obviously free for you to be sharing that if people are interested. You can obviously go and invite as many people as you like that you're friends with on that event page. You can also then share that event page on your personal page and anywhere else that you want to share it. So that's a really good reason to actually create a physical event page for your events on Facebook. The other thing is Facebook ad targeting. So to actually pay to play, where you've got an image and the link is to the ticket page and you can be very specific with who you target. So for me, because I run events for women in business, then in Melbourne, I will usually run an ad for women between a certain age group within a proximity of 50 k's from Melbourne over the period just before the event is about to be held. So running ads is also a great way to target your audience that are interested in the topic that you're speaking about or that you're running an event on. The other thing is to actually ask people to share. So get your friends, your community, people that you know to share the event around so that as many eyeballs get on it as possible. And the other thing with that is have different images. So with Facebook, you can actually upload a number of images and it will show different images and see which one is getting the most clicks. So you can also do that if you are paying for an ad. But then if you're just promoting the event on a regular basis, try and have different images as well, because if people see the same thing again and again, they can sometimes become a bit blind to it. So be a bit creative in the way that you're creating the content for it. You can always use things like Google Adwords. I used Google Adwords for the last Epic Business Branding Summit, which got a lot of views and some tickets sold. I was really lucky because I had a $100 Google AdWords voucher that I had, so I just used that. So it was definitely worthwhile. I also know that I've got one with my host, Bluehost, that I haven't used yet. So just see if you've got any Google AdWord vouchers lying around that you may not know about. So as I said, mine was with my host provider, my website host, and I got another one. I think it was if it was the first time you signed up to Google AdWords, then they gave you a $100 voucher. So see whether that's something that you could potentially use yourself. The other thing that I did is that I looked at the communities where my ideal client or the target audience for that event frequented, and then I paid for space on their newsletter. So for example, Raw magazine, I paid for a banner ad with them that went out to their audience because their readership are female women in business. So that was a great one for me. So have a think about who has got your audience and see whether there's an opportunity to collaborate as well. The other thing is that if you've got any sponsors for your events, then see whether they're willing to also share image or promo on the event coming up as a sponsor to their audience. Obviously, if you use a site like Eventbrite or Sticky Tickets, then they actually show up to anybody that's on the site as another event that they might be interested in. The other thing that I did for the Epic Business Planning Summit last year was that I started a couple of meetup groups. Obviously, Meetup has got a massive audience, and I've now used that as an ongoing channel for other events within the Connection Exchange and to grow my own community and have built up quite a few people in those groups so that I can also promote events to them as well. The other thing is free event websites. So my virtual assistant, Talia, went and put for our next Epic Business Branding Summit on the 14th of April in Melbourne this year, 2016. She has gone and put all of the details for the events on the free event listing sites that we've got here in Melbourne. So check out whether you have got access to free event listings in your city, where you can go and list your event, and anybody that's looking for a Women in Business conference or any type of breakfast or wellness or whatever your particular niche is, then they'll be able to find it there as well. The other thing that I do is that I make a list of promotion days in Facebook groups so that I can make sure that I'm promoting the event in women's business groups on Facebook on the right days, so that I can obviously reach that audience as well, and that's free to do that. So just think about that. You may need to also be contributing to those groups in order to promote, but it's just another avenue for you to take a look at. And the other thing that I would do is get your speakers to promote the event if possible. It doesn't have to be a dedicated newsletter that they send out to their subscribers, but it could just be a banner at the bottom of one of their emails saying, I'm going to be in Melbourne speaking at this event if you're interested. And that's a great way to obviously reach their fans, because if your speaker has got a great following, then you want to obviously tap into that as well. And then using things like Instagram and Facebook competitions. So I've used Instagram competitions where if people repost and tag a friend, then they can win 1 or 2 tickets to the event. And you run it over a period of a week or two so that you can obviously get as many shares as possible. Because the thing is that if people are sharing it and tagging their friends and only 1 or 2 people win, then you've still got all the other people who reposted the image who you know are very interested in coming to the event as well. So have a think about how you can run competitions. There are quite a few apps that you can use to run Facebook and Instagram competitions in the right way. Woobox, I know you can do it, and there's a few others as well. I'll leave them over in the blog. The other thing that I would just say is you've just got to keep promoting. Events are a funny beast. They are great for branding and for your business and for building your community, and they're great fun if that's what you love. But you've just got to keep reminding people, because even though people want to come to something, they usually leave it till the last minute to book, which for the organizer can obviously be quite frustrating and very risky, because you normally have to outlay money to secure the venue and potentially the speaker and everything else that goes along with hosting an event. But if you want to do events, then you've just got to understand that that's kind of the way that it works. So promote as much as you can. The bottom line is that you can't really over promote, because you'll always capture somebody new every time you do promote. And even if you think you're nagging people, just keep it going in the background, because people will want to come and they'll just eventually get around to actually booking their ticket. So that was quite a long one today, but I really wanted to give you all of the tips that I had on how you can promote your event. If you've got any questions, then please feel free to leave them below. Obviously, head over to the blog at theconnectionexchange.com and you can find out more information there, as well as sign up and become a subscriber to get more videos and content straight to your inbox, and to find out when there's some great events happening that we're hoping to stretch out outside of Melbourne throughout Australia as well. Have a great day and I'll speak to you soon. Be sure to grab your ticket to one of Australia's major Women in Business events for 2016, Epic Business Branding Summit on Thursday the 14th of April, with keynote speaker Emma Isaac, CEO of Business Chicks, and a lineup of some of the best business, brand, sales and strategy leaders in Australia and New Zealand, including Jodie Jealous, Karen Lawson, Andrew McKinnon, Jess Rufus and Magdalena Franco. You'll enjoy a full day of training, networking, connecting and fun at one of Melbourne's most beautiful venues, Carousel on Albert Park Lake. Get your tickets now at theconnectionexchange.com.